welcome everyone to this yet another episode of Dialogue with the Veteran series. In our today's installment, we will make an effort to gain an educationist perspective on financial advisory profession and financial literacy disparities. We will also explore how they are molding the workforce into industry ready and employable individuals. For our today's episode, we have a special guest who is a certified financial planner, a passionate educator, and a young dynamic entrepreneur. He is the founder and CEO of Infinite Financial Academy. He is Mr. Himanshu Mayne. His vision is to take the knowledge of finance to every household. So let's embark on an educational, enlightening conversation with Mr. Himanshu Mayne.
So thank you, Himanshu. Thank you for coming on this discussion session today.
Thank you, sir.
Very, very happy to have you here. You are a trainer
Pleasure, sir.
you are a trainer for CFP. You are a trainer in various other areas. You have education initiatives. I think
sir.
in the past you have worked with JM Financial, and then you made a mid-career switch somewhere
Yes, sir.
5-6 years back. So can you tell us
Yeah.
about your journey and why you wanted to choose this training education as your career choice?
Sir, when I was into JM Financials, my company pushed me a lot for the training of employees on the products. So whenever a new team used to join, maybe in Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad, anywhere in JM Financials Pan India, they used to call them to Mumbai for the trainings. And the super boss of JM Financial, Mr. Surajit Mishra, at that time, who is now the director also, used to tell me, okay, Himanshu, since you are a CFP and I have seen you indulging in a lot of activities, reading the books and etc. magazines. Why don't you start training the employees on the financial products who are joining, new employees? So I got an interest towards training. But during that training, I noticed that a lot of the fresher employees or the experienced employees who were coming and joining JM Financial knew only the bookish things and were not able to advise the clients on the basis of goal oriented things or some kind of approach what CFP has, understanding the client's portfolio, understanding all that things. There were a lot of selling point of view was that. So I thought, yes, I wish to train people. I want to bridge this gap, and that is how my journey as a trainer started, and that is what I'm doing right now.
Okay. But when you were already in a job, you are doing well. There also you are doing training. So why did you transition? Why did you break out from there and start your own firm in the training education area?
So that was restricted towards the job. The job is, with lot many things are there. I cannot do full-time training. I somewhere had this thing, okay, I had is this dream and still have a dream that Har Ghar Finance. So I want if every household has a basic financial literacy, our GDP will shoot up and a lot many good things will happen in the country. So I thought within the job is quite restricted, and I felt so okay, I should explore more as a trainer. So I left my job. I am still in touch with the director. He told me at that time also if you're leaving, if anytime you wish to join back, you can come. And I just collaborated with him recently for the job placements. Okay, if I have CFPs, why don't we push them to JM Financials if they want? So I'm in good relations with them, but that was a very clear point. The clarity was there in my mind while leaving the job that I want to get a larger picture into training. So I left my job at that point of time, sir.
Okay. So what are all the kind of training initiatives now you have in your firm?
CFP was a very basic step because that was something a stepping stone. I have to be an authorized trainer to establish myself and my name as a trainer. Finance Lab is something very big thing what we are doing. It is only offered at 1,000 rupees per person. Just like in Science Lab, if we used to study in science and go in lab, to do the experiments with litmus paper and test tubes. Just like that, Finance Lab covers every area of finance in a practical approach. For example, students are getting taught mutual funds, but we teach mutual funds, by filling up the mutual fund form, by telling them how to go to the CVL KRA website and check the KYC, etc. Equity, they understand what is equity, but then we actually tell them how to trade it on our demat account. Like we open the demat account and tell them, okay, come and trade. like this. Insurance. Many of them, BBI, banking and insurance candidates know what insurance is. But now we technically go to policy world and show them how the insurance works. So this got accepted a lot from the colleges. And I think I am making a difference over there. Then we are working on something known as GYAN, GYAAN. GYAN is again an educational initiative wherein we are training stock market and derivatives only at rupees 1,000. The content is superior of what people are training at 12,000 rupees.
Okay.
So the idea is not money making over here. The idea is, okay, how many people we can reach and how many lives we can transform into it. So that was an initiative what we are doing. Apart from that, I have done a lot of free seminars also just for spreading awareness, all these things. So the goal is clear, sir, and these all things we are doing.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
CFP, Finance Lab, and GYAN, they are three main things we are into.
Very good, very good. So one of the important thing that you're doing is training financial advisors. So
Yes.
yeah, so why would you rate financial advisory itself as a good career choice? I mean, you have done CFP and you're training people. So why would you rate financial advisory as a good career choice? And what is the future of financial advisory according to you in our country?
Sir, what I have noticed that there is a lot of mis-selling approach being used, but I have frankly seen in my career days also, early in my career, I have seen the cake celebrations also after a ULIP is sold. I've seen those things. So it kind of, had a glitch in my mind. Okay, there's a very wrong way of doing all such things. There should be a little better approach to these things. I also thought that India has lot many agents, LIC agents, mutual fund agents like this, but there is very less real RIAs or real financial advisors who are doing comprehensive financial planning for their clients.
Yeah.
I thought that this is a good market to even tell those advisors that you should upgrade yourself to become CFPs or something, do comprehensive financial planning. Also, I thought that in India, the wealth is increasing a lot. The money is flowing in. There's globalization. People are going out. People are coming in. So I think what was 20 years back, it's not now the same scene. If we just see the vehicles data also, there are SUVs getting purchased, there are houses getting sold. So I feel so okay, advisory business is one of the biggest businesses in the country. Also, if we take out the ratio also according to the population of the country, there are hardly few real advisors. Even if we take the agents also, they are also very less, but advisors are even more less. And especially when the concept of RIA comes in, I think they are the very handful of numbers. So I feel this is a better approach.
Okay. So when you are telling this to students, I believe all these things you will be telling your students as well.
Yes.
So when you're preparing them for an advisory career, see, one of the typical problems which I mean we have seen is that the typical bank or typical wealth management outfit or something like that, at least at the initial phases, can offer a much higher salary. But of course, the job content will be pure sales. Whereas in
Correct.
the case of a advisory firm like us, I mean, to start with, we will offer low, but over a period
Correct,
of
sir.
time, we will, I mean, they will be in a position to get much higher salaries. And
Correct.
the more experience they put in as advisors, their value will increase, unlike in the case of a
Increase.
typical sales job. So, I mean,
Agreed.
all these
Agreed.
things are important for students to know. Do you talk about these and other things to students? What do you talk to students?
So students, frankly, after COVID, the generation is quite different. The earlier students were more understandable about the practical world. Now they are like they want a cabin job or maybe a very good package immediately after the graduation or immediately after CFP. I do tell them the real approach to the corporate world. I tell them that even if you're getting a sales job at initial levels, don't I promote them to not do that. But if they're getting into because of lot many financial issues also, if they're getting into a job and which is a sales job, try to bring in a comprehensive financial planning approach. Don't just directly go and sell the product. If you are talking to any client, any of the numbers, any of the client which company has given you, try to ask him the age, the goals, the risk factors, the tax planning, retirement planning, insurance planning concepts, talk about estate planning, then advise, okay, these products are there. Why go for large cap? Why go for mid cap? So I train them on this part so that maybe in the coming next few years, if they wish, ki, okay, let me start off my own things, they will have this kind of approach right from the start. So this is something what I am doing. At least when they go to the corporate, they make a difference from MBA finance because they are into core selling. So this is my something what I tell students.
Yeah. So the other thing is typically what happens with most students. I mean, I'm not talking only about CFP students. Any graduate,
Yes,
any postgraduate. I mean, see, ultimately, it is a bookish knowledge that they get in any academic institution. But actually,
correct.
the industry is actually looking at something else, and I mean, reading only the textbook, going through only the textbook will not really be useful for them to be industry ready. So, what are
Correct.
the things that you encourage your students to do so that they are industry ready?
So we have this pattern wherein suppose a lecture is held on Sunday. So throughout the week, our back office team will call them and they are giving the homework. The homework is simple, very simple homework. Read the ET Wealth paper, okay, which comes every Monday. They have to read it out. And at the class on Sunday, suppose a class is of 15 to 20 people, everyone has to tell some article. So we technically put 15 to 20 minutes on that so that the knowledge expands. If someone is saying, someone is hearing, etc., then half an hour they have to see CNBC daily. This is what we are doing, and we kind of maintain these things also.
Okay,
So we
okay,
give them a report card every month,
okay,
wherein if a person is calling to XYZ person and they're asking, okay, today's Monday, have you seen CNBC? And if he says no or yes, so we mark it down. And at the month end, we give them a report card. Okay, in these many days, you have just watched CNBC 15 days. You haven't watched 15 days CNBC, or you have read ET Wealth or not. I feel this is a little practical approach what we are giving to our students to make a little difference.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, excellent. So now
Thank you, sir.
coming to yeah, coming to investors, again the financial awareness among the investors, in spite of so much of information available over the net and so many articles which are getting published, blogs which are getting published, podcasts are there, videos are there. I mean, still the financial illiteracy is, I mean, completely prevalent everywhere.
Correct, sir.
What do you feel will be the reason for this? I mean, prevalence of financial illiteracy among investors, and what can we do to change that?
Frankly speaking, even I was on this question a few years back. Okay, there are so many things around, but still there is financial illiteracy. But I jot down the answer. But as far as what I have experienced, there's plenty of information, but in the language the company wants to sell it, and not in the language a consumer wants to absorb it. There is a little gap, what I feel. So
Okay,
a podcaster or a YouTuber or a content maker would be publishing a lot of data like returns, CAGR, etc., etc. But a middle class or lower middle class family hasn't even differentiated between savings and investment. They haven't understood the concepts of what is CAGR and what is absolute returns,
correct,
etc., etc.
correct,
So we thought of doing it in a simplified, just breaking the easy terms first, getting the mode into mutual funds. Not many people still feel the mutual fund is very, very, very risky thing.
Hmm.
Although the disclaimer is there, but there are lot many benefits also.
Yeah, correct,
So I feel the mutual fund houses are just giving the data of NFOs or some like that, but they haven't touched the crowd and simplified the language. I feel so that is one of the reasons, and the solution to it is getting into the crowd and simplifying the language, making them more educated. Then only they will come and invest with you. Lot many people still do FD because they don't understand ki FD minus inflation is what the real rate of returns is. So they don't understand the what is inflation only.
correct.
So explaining the inflation first in a very Hindi language, simplified language, will take out the savings from the banks and bring it to mutual funds.
Yeah.
I feel so that is the thing.
Correct, correct. Simplifying, I mean, taking out the jargon and making the whole thing accessible to a normal
Yes.
person. And probably conveying that in the form of stories anecdotes,
Correct.
something which happens practically in everybody's life. So those are the things probably by which financial education can be more effective.
Correct, sir.
In a
Correct.
sense, that is exactly what I have also done in my book. If God was your financial planner, I think maybe you have also gone through that book.
Yes, yes. I frankly, I was very touched by the story of Mr. Vishal.
Yeah.
Uh, I was reading it out, and then suddenly the chapter came, and I saw the story, and then I was like, oh, this happens, and a financial planner is like bound with every emotion things also of what is happening with the client's family. That is one thing. I also liked about the parenting part which you wrote, wherein you wrote one sentence that few schools are not even playing the national anthem and they are wanting to play the national anthem of their country.
Correct.
And parents are just wanting them to become Elon Musk or something like that right after the schooling. Real estate was one chapter which was very nice, the myths of real estate. That was a really good thing. And then credit rating point you wrote, that was also very nice, because in 2008 wala part which you said ki credit rating, all those companies were highly rated, and those collapsed. And this was the reason, because the companies gave them money to rate. That was an interesting point. So I feel the book was very nicely written, sir. The storyline was there. I was discussing with my colleagues also, and with your permission also, my junior was wanting to prepare a YouTube video also on this book, review of book. Yes, so he will speak to you on that.
Sure.
Once you're doing that.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
So while I have written this book in the form of an investor education initiative, later on I got the feedback that this will be very useful, a ringside view of what happens in an advisory practice, and it will be helpful even to an advisor. That's the feedback I got from a lot of people. Do you agree with that? Do you think this will be useful for budding advisors?
100%, sir. I feel so, because you have put a fictional story, like in a way, a conversation is there, and then while touching that storyline, you have also touched about the concepts. So that has been very beautifully drafted. So it engages you throughout the book, where chapter 1, chapter 2, you did not feel the time is running. You feel okay, I'm just changing the books. I feel so that is very nice thing. And this would really help the advisors, because it has touched all the financial planning components. And this will also boost the advisor that what services they have to offer to the clients, and how a role of financial plan is so very important in a life of a client. So yes, I definitely feel so, sir.
Yeah. So in fact, that is one of the points which I wanted to bring out, that financial planner is not just about managing the money. It is actually slightly more than that. It's about actually transforming the client life, ensuring the client itself is happy and fulfilled in their life. So that's the whole point of an advisor. So that's what I wanted to bring out in the book.
No, that was very nicely done, sir. I have given the book to my all colleagues also. They will also be reading that.
Wonderful, boss. So thanks so much, Himanshu. I mean, this was very, very interesting, useful to get your perspective as an educationist, to get a perspective of what happens in a training organization, and how we are dealing with your students, and how we are preparing people whom we will be employing, and in turn they will be interacting with our clients. So thank you so much for the wonderful work that you are doing. We want to engage with you on a professional basis also, on an ongoing basis, because we need to employ further advisors. We are looking forward to doing the good work together.
Thank you, sir. Same here, sir. Nice interaction with you, and definitely we'll be in touch.
Thank you so much.